This is Unhustling with Luis Baez. There was a time when I was everyone's hero, the fire extinguisher, the fixer, the one people called when the wheels came off. If there was a crisis, I was there. If someone was falling apart, I held the space. If a client needed a miracle, I stayed up all night to deliver it. I was the one with the answers, the one with the extra energy, and the one who could hold everyone's mess without breaking a sweat. But here's the part no one tells you about being the hero. You don't get rescued. People don't check on the strong one. They just assume you're fine because you always are until you're not. My breaking point came when I missed an important birthday for someone I love. I was out of town for a last minute client meeting, helping a CMO who had dropped the ball and needed to save face. I told myself, it's just one night. I'll make it up to them. But that night turned into a domino effect. I started confusing time zones and missing my own deadlines, skipped workouts until my body felt like a battery that wouldn't charge, stopped going out because I was too tired to be present. I was helping everyone else rise while I was slowly disappearing. And the worst part, no one noticed. Because when you're the hero, people don't ask if you're okay. They just assume you've got it handled. But I didn't have it handled. I was drowning in everyone else's emergencies while my own life fell apart. At first, I justified it. This is what leadership looks like. This is how you build reputation and trust. This is how you earn loyalty. But what I was really doing was trying to earn love through usefulness, through sacrifice, through being the one that everyone could count on. And let me tell you, usefulness is a dangerous drug because when people start depending on your availability, they stop respecting your boundaries. And when you're always the one fixing things, you never get to ask for help because heroes don't need help, right? Wrong. Heroes burn out. They collapse. They disappear quietly while everyone else moves on with the problems they solved. I was building an empire of service and a life of self neglect. The wake up call came from a friend of mine in the entertainment industry, someone who had clawed their way to success in a world even harsher than mine. We were catching up, and I was venting about how overwhelmed I was. And he looked at me, he said, Luis, no one's coming to save you. You either protect your energy or watch your potential die from exhaustion. That hit me like a sermon and a slap because he was right. I had built an empire of service and a life of self neglect. That was a harsh realization. I had made myself indispensable to everyone except myself. So I started doing something that terrified me. I stopped rescuing people. If a client waited until the last minute, I didn't rearrange my life. If a team member dropped the ball, we learned from it instead of covering it up. If a friend needed a savior, I listened, but I didn't fix. It felt uncomfortable at first, almost cruel. Because when you've built your identity around being the reliable one, saying no feels like betrayal. But over time, I realized that boundaries are the highest form of respect for yourself and for others. Because every time I rushed in to save someone, I robbed them of the chance to rise. I was enabling chaos. I was teaching people that they didn't have to manage their own problems because I would be there to fix them all the time. And that wasn't helping them. That was crippling them. Now I remind myself my job isn't to be the hero. It's to be the mirror. I reflect your potential. I don't carry your problems. I guide you. I don't grind for you. And that shift changed everything. My relationships got healthier. My sleep came back. My creativity returned. And my clients started performing better because I stopped enabling chaos. Because when you stop rescuing people, they start learning to save themselves. And that's real leadership. Unhustling is brought to you by bookedbusypaid.com, the home of systems that support your sanity. If your business is scaling faster than your energy, it's not a motivation problem, it's a systems problem. At bookedbusypaid.com, I partner with founders to build the structure that turns chaos into clarity and growth into peace. Because building a business you love shouldn't cost you the life you're trying to protect. Visit bookbusypaid.com to start freeing up your time today. Now, I want to leave you with a few questions. Write these down, talk them out loud in the car or in front of the mirror, whatever it takes for you to help process this. The first question is, who benefits most when you play the hero? When I asked myself this, the answer was uncomfortable because it was everyone but me. Clients benefited. They got a miracle worker who would drop everything for them. Colleagues benefited. They got someone who would cover their mistakes without a complaint. Friends benefited. They got someone who would always show up no matter what. But me, I got exhaustion, resentment, and a life that felt like it belonged to everyone else. Because here's the truth, being the hero isn't a service, it's self abandonment. You're teaching people that your needs don't matter, that your time is infinite, that your energy is expendable. And once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. So I started asking, who am I actually serving by saying yes to this? Is it them or is it my need to be needed? And most of the time, it was the second one. Next question. Who suffers quietly while you're out there saving everyone else? This one gutted me because the answer was the people who actually mattered. My partner, my family, my friends who never asked for anything because they knew I was too busy. And myself. I was giving my best energy to strangers and my leftovers to the people I loved. I was showing up for clients at midnight, but missing dinner with the people who actually wanted me there. And the worst part, I thought I was being noble. I thought I was grinding for my family, but I wasn't grinding for them. I was hiding from them because as long as I was the hero in someone else's story, I didn't have to deal with my own. So I made a decision. The people who love me unconditionally get my best energy, not my leftovers. And the people who only value me when I'm useful, they don't get access to me anymore. And final question, what would your life look like if you saved some of that energy for yourself? Now, this one cracked me wide open because I had no idea. I had spent so long being available to everyone else that I didn't even know what I wanted anymore. What did rest look like? What did joy look like? What did a life that wasn't fueled by urgency and by other people's emergencies look like? So I started experimenting. I blocked off Friday afternoons, no calls, no emails, just me. At first, I didn't even know what to do with the time. I felt guilty and restless, like I should be doing something productive. But eventually, I learned to just be. I started reading again, cooking again, sitting outside and doing nothing. And somewhere in that space, I started to remember who I was before I became everyone's hero. I started to remember that my worth doesn't live in my usefulness, that I'm allowed to rest without earning it, that saving some energy for myself doesn't make me selfish. It makes me sustainable. Being the hero is overrated. Being whole is the real win. Because if you keep rescuing everyone, you'll forget what it feels like to be saved. And you deserve to be saved too. So stop playing the hero. Start being human. Let people help you. Let people see you tired. Let people show up for you the way that you've been showing up for them. Because the strongest thing that you can do isn't saving everyone. It's saving yourself. This is unhustling, where we build slower, breathe deeper, and still get it all done on our own terms. I'm Luis Baez, and I'm in your corner. Bye for now. You've been listening to Unhustling with Luis Baez. If this episode resonated, then share it with someone who needs to hear it. New episodes drop every Sunday. Subscribe at unhustling.com so you never miss one.